It's nice and cool in here. Should put the TV cameras in here.
Sean, just had lovely scenes out on the pitch there, the players taking in the lap of honour just after the season. How much do they deserve that opportunity to celebrate with the fans?
Yeah, I think all parties concerned. I think the fans have paid us back with their support. The players have put a real shift in this season for obvious reasons, and myself and the staff. So I think there's a good connection. I think they've stayed strong when we really needed them, particularly after a heavy defeat, and they've stayed true to the team, and I think that's important. And I appreciate from the last couple of seasons I haven't had a chance to do that. So it was nice for all and the families to get out there and just enjoy a moment. 40
points hit now, even with 8 points of deductions. Just how much of achievement is that as well, when you look at some of the challenges?
Yeah, I felt that over the season, early season, I thought openly about the fact our performances were good. If we stick with that, we'll win games. We have done. 5 on the trot at home is no easy feat, and clean sheets. A lot of challenges down the season. That's been quite obvious, and I think the mentality has stayed firm throughout the ups and downs and questions and all the rest that happens. And I think consistency in my message has been true, not just to you, through my staff and the players. I think we've stayed solid with what we believe and how we train and how we work, and it's paid us back as well with the performances and the wins.
Can I just ask, Jack Harrison injury, what is it, sorry?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's pulled his hamstring in training. I forgot to mention it the other day, and he's unlikely to make the next game, I think. So, yeah, shame, because he's put a lot of effort into this season, physically, as much as anything. So, very unfortunate with that. It's not too serious, but I think it's unlikely he'll make the next game.
And Youssef Chermiti looked dangerous again when he came on, another positive sign for the future.
Yeah, Youssef really was brought in as a development-style player who probably should have been out on loan or that type of future, but the situation here, that's been obvious. Small squad, stretching numbers, but we've had to develop him inside the camp, and he's done very well. He's put a lot of effort into it, particularly over the last couple of months, and he's got his payback because we played him. He's had a start, of course, and came unaffected the game today.
And how pleased were you to be able to give Lewis Warrington that opportunity at the end as well, get a few minutes?
Yeah, he's been terrific. Young player, he trains so well, so hard, gives his lot, got a brilliant attitude, and it was nice to just get him on, even though it was only for a few moments, but it's still nice to get him on.
Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just the first half, particularly, Dominic was just terrorising them, and I think the incident at the end was reflective of that. Just a few words, he's been just getting better and better.
Yeah, I thought he was good. Put a lot of effort into the game in general, but certainly in the first half, I thought we utilised him well, used him well. Some of the passing forward was very good into dangerous areas for Dom. Sets a really bit of clever play to set up the goal, obviously. We know what a fine player he is. It's simple as that. And when he's on that kind of form, and equally against Liverpool, I thought he was quieter down at Luton, but I thought he played very well again today, and was only missing a goal.
Sean, how impressed have you been by Jack Harrison? He's only a loan player, but he's been used a lot this season. Just a word on him and his progress with the team.
Yeah, he's done very well. His tactical understanding is excellent, especially 2 roles really wide or in the number 10 spot. His work ethic's excellent too. I still think there's more with his talent, because I think he's very talented. We see it in training. I've spoken to him about unlocking that. But over the season's work, I think he's done very well for us and been a very consistent performer.
Sure. I assume you haven't heard anything more on the ownership or where that's going or anything?
No, it's fair to say I haven't.
Well,
Sean, without the points deduction, you'd be 11th, and going into the last game, you'd have a chance of finishing in the top 10. With everything that's gone against this season and the financial situation, do you think you have surpassed expectations in terms of points you've gathered?
Well, it's hard though, because there was a spell when we were getting heavily questioned when we weren't winning. And you understand, this is a big club, you've got to win games. But I was trying to reflect and be honest and say, well, hang on a minute. The psychology of football, if we did have them 8 points on, we would have won nowhere near even the talking point of not winning games. And we'd have probably won games. So as that story changes and it gets heavier and heavier and the weight gets heavier on the players, I thought we'd come out of that well, actually, to handle that and come through it. I designed an ugly win against Burnley and it worked. Then a really tough, horrible night. And then we've reflected on that and we've made sense of it. And I think I've been really pleased with that, So a lot of good work done over the season. my job is to see through the noise, as I call it. That's the job. You know, it's good, bad, and indifferent, and make sense of what the team are doing. And I think I've done a good job of that, and I think the team have as well.
Is that the bar now for next season, or
Is that the what, sorry?
Is that the bar for next season, then, or
The bar for next season is making sure that we safeguard this club in the Premier League. It doesn't really change. There's going to be more challenges coming. I've tried to be honest with you. The fans told me they want the truth. I'm telling you the truth. It's not going to be fixed overnight. You know, it's going to be a building process, and it takes time. I think there is growth in what from when I got here to where it is now. I think there has been development in the side and the players, and I think the sort of mentality for sure. There's a long way to go to get it back to where Everton think they are. Do you know what I mean? Because the perception is often bigger than the truth of the story. So I'm trying to find the gap between the two and bring it together so that fans go, okay, all right, we kind of get where we're at. So I'm trying to do that. But there's more challenges to come. I don't just mean financial. I mean more challenges balancing out the club, balancing out the playing side of things, balancing out the wage structure. There's more challenges to come.
obviously Kevin Fell won't come out yesterday and said that you are going to have to sell some players in the
Yeah, very likely, and that's yet again, it's the current truth of the situation.
Paul?
Hey, we need the microphones, I can't hear you. I think that was actually a joke. He's actually going to pass it over. I thought that was another dry joke that didn't work. I don't know, I'm going to have to improve my game. I thought that was funny, but anyway, it doesn't really work here. My dry jokes just don't work.
Go with the microphone anyway.
There you go, I can hear you now.
Okay. Is there any indication of whether you'll be able to keep him? I mean, given that
Who's that, sorry?
Jack Harrison.
Well, we're waiting to see, and a lot of things, as you can imagine, the first thing was making sure that we were safe, and then once we make sure we're safe, we can kind of reevaluate where the truth of it is, the internal truth, with, the financial side and what we can do. So, yeah, that'll be an ongoing process, and some of the contracts will be ongoing as well.
Any further questions? Shamoon?
No, sorry. Good from you. See, how come he got a laugh? I didn't. I thought mine was just as good. I thought my dry joke was just as good. Didn't work. Well done, you. Well, I don't really I think the game's gone too soft with a lot of things, as you know, feigning of injury and all that sort of stuff. But that one, I think, is probably too much. I think the game's going on. I don't think I don't think the game would suggest you can just walk to a player and just push him so pretty strong in the chest. I don't think that's a good thing about the game. And then they said it was because he wasn't in the face, and I go, well, so in theory, then anyone could just go across the pitch and just shove someone on the floor just for the sake of it and get a yellow card. In theory, so that can't be right, can it? But I gotta say, I don't really like all the red card thing over things that are pretty nothingy. So it's a debate point for me. But the modern rules suggest when it's pretty aggressive, like he's probably going to walk. I mean, we had the one last season with Decore on Harry Kane. It was a nothing moment, really. Harry Kane goes down. I don't think Don made a big deal of it, and he got sent off. Decore got sent off, and you go, well, that one today is pretty simple stuff for me in the modern game. But personally, I think the game's got too weak on a lot of these things. For me, you just stop messing around, give me a yellow card and crack on. But the rules suggest now that you're putting yourself in trouble there. So there was every chance I felt he could have walked.
Sean, just word on Jordan Pickford, 13 clean sheets there. I think he's going up for his second behind David Ray and that gold glove and all that. And you need experienced heads and people who perform consistently well for it, which is how well he is.
He's done great, but I've got to be honest, and I know he appreciates. I'll be looking at a team in front of him going, these are hardy lads. I mean, last week I spoke about the Luton game. I didn't think we played well with the ball, but without the ball, fantastic. People throwing their bodies, people, defending to everything to keep the ball away from him. And when he's needed, I think he's delivered very good performances. So I think there's a lot of work by the defensive group. He certainly deserves credit, but there's a lot of work in front of him, and I think he appreciates that.
One final one from you.
Sure. As you just mentioned, you've ended the season with 5 home wins, and obviously that's on the back of a difficult day at Chelsea starts that run as well. How important was it to end like that? These fans have been through a lot this season, and this club's been through a lot. Does that kind of give you a bit of a boost going into the summer, a long summer?
Yeah, I think it helps. I mean, I spoke to the players, and it's sort of an end of season feel to the game, but a really hot day as well has to be factored. It's come out of nowhere, this kind of heat, and even as a player, that catches you out a little bit. So, it felt a bit slower and a bit more like an end-of-season game. But that being said, you've got to win, and we did. And I think that's where we've shifted forwards this season. We found different ways of staying in the games to get a point and to win. And I think we've done that again today in a game that probably was going to pan out something similar. I thought first half we were very good and we deserved probably to score again, but we didn't. And then second half, credit to them, they're playing for pride, don't forget as well. I know Chris, and he'll want to make sure that he sees out the season properly. And they've attempted to do that today, and we found a way to win. So I'm pleased overall.
And does it feel like you've left Goodison on a sort of high note for this season?
Well, I think it's where the right way to finish, because you've got to win, and finding ways to win has been important, and the crowd enjoy that, and they get a chance to see the players in a different format than the last couple of seasons. So I think it's a very positive finish on that respect for everyone concerned.
Thanks, Enoch.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.